What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James, RedoptionAgency.com, 23 years selling full-time on eBay. Welcome to Monday morning. I didn't have nothing to ship this morning. Apparently, Adrian went down about 2:30 and did some shipping. He pretty much did it all, and I had a 7-hour shutdown overnight. Nothing was selling, so nothing came through. So I didn't have nothing to ship this morning. So we're doing this style of video on this Monday morning. We're at 9:30 a.m. So we're going to go through the numbers, see what we did yesterday, because I'm curious, see what we did last week, see if we beat the top 869 average per day price point, and then go over kind of my new layout plan of what I'm trying to do with listing to make sure that I grow the store by 1,000 listings every month. So I'm keeping track of that. And yeah, so let's get started. Let's see what we did yesterday. So this is the media store here. Yesterday was Sunday, which used to be my biggest day of the week. Let's see if we had any international. Nope, no international again yesterday. So not quite 500, $359 yesterday in the media store, down 42% from Saturday, and 32 items sold for $11.22 average price with only 25 buyers. So divide by 25, so the average price per order was only $14.36 yesterday. So this store yesterday really showed me again the difference between the accounts on eBay. This one, my older account, had all problems yesterday: server failures, system errors, and stuff wasn't coming through. What else? Couldn't send offers. It was airing out. But the newer account, no problems at all. So that definitely yesterday was a reminder on different accounts act differently. Plain and simple, 100%, no ifs, ands, or buts. And yesterday was a reminder of that. So yeah, so over here yesterday, we did $551. So 550.84, which brings the total yesterday to $910. So not a bad day for having so many problems on the other store, but it almost seems like they flip-flop also when it comes to the sale thing. So like over here, the last 3 days, you'll see low, high, low. You come over here, you'll see high, low, high. So they feel like they flip-flop. So is that them working together within eBay's algorithm? You know, both of them can't do great at the same time. Maybe. But yeah, we won't get into that conspiracy because we're focusing on what we can do, what we can change, and yeah. So I'll get into that in a little bit, but I want to see how the week went. Then we'll look at some of the items that have sold, and then I'll go through what my next level changes to my listing process to keep myself focused. All right, so we'll go for the week. We're still in the clothing store right now. So we're gonna go. When it skips a month, it always throws me off. Monday. Don't you start messing with me, camera. Through Sunday. All right. So for the clothing store, we have $2,939 for the week. 2938.94. That is up 18%. The net sales are going to be off because the $300 payments that come out at the beginning of the month, so they will be thinned out throughout the month. 157 items sold, 143 orders, 18.72% per item, divided by 143, and $21 per order. All right, so top 5 items. So number 5, we got the NHL. We got hockey coming in with $137. That's up 90%. We're going to be headed into the playoffs in about 6 games or so. So getting exciting in the hockey world. Plus, Ovechkin just beat Gretzky's number. So hockey is hot right now. So if you got the hockey stuff, get it listed now. Number 4, we got action figures. $175 in action figures, up 100%. Dropping down to number 3, because I believe it was number 2 last week. T-shirts, $214. That's up 9%. Maybe it wasn't number 3. I don't remember. Maybe it was number 4, actually. Coming in at number 2, Major League Baseball. 'Tis the season, as you know. $218, up 24%. So get that baseball stuff listed also. And then in my NBA stuff never really pops up into this top thing. So, and then number 1 over here, of course, men's hats, $870, down 16%. So we did not even hit 1,000 on the hats this past week. So that's a bummer there. Honorable mention is women's jeans, $119, up 62%. So I'll leave that there. We'll come over to the media store. See how much I did on international. So we got 404. So a little over $100 in internationals. Hold on a minute. I got a text from Jan. I think she needs some information. Yes. Let's get this for her real quick. She's starting the new job today, so filling out paperwork and what have you. So she's a pharmacy manager back at Walgreens now. No more 2-hour drive time per day and then working without a pharmacy tech. So she should be in a lot better moods from here on out. So, all right. Back to this. All right. So the media store for the week, $3,515. 3515.37. It's up 6.2%, so it's good that we're at least up on both accounts. Again, net sales are going to be off because the $300 just came out, so it's not going to be totally accurate. 286 items sold for $12.29, average price per item, with 208 orders, which brings the order total at $16.90, which is down a little bit. So we are down there. Top 5 items. We've got video game controllers and accessories at $202. That's up 94%. A lot of the controllers and stuff I've been putting up from storage. And I come across even more crates of controllers and attachments. So I'm going to have a lot more of that stuff going up soon too. Number 4, VHS tapes coming up into the top 5. Wow. VHS tapes. They've been kind of selling. I told you there's something's about that one week, or was a certain day or something. I said, yeah, it was a certain day where I'm like, all these VHS tapes are just selling out of the blue for some reason. $238, up 117% in VHS tapes. So something's making VHS tapes explode right now. So, and then also there's a lot of articles out there for CDs in 2025. So, number 4, we got vinyl records at $470. That's down 4.9%. Number 2 is cassettes. Cassettes are down also $524, down 20% there. I'm kind of surprised. Usually VHS tapes and cassettes always kind of worked in unison. So not so much this week. Number 1, of course, CDs, $1,419, up 46% from last week on the CDs. So, see, like I said, CDs are gaining a lot more popularity than they already had. They've been slowly building over vinyl. I think last year was the first year where CD sales outsold vinyl in quite a while. And now there's a lot of articles on how, the CD quality sounds better than vinyl and stuff. So we're getting the resurgence of CDs sound better than vinyl. So people are going to start buying CDs again. So taking away from the original feel of vinyl and the original sounds and pops of vinyl and what have you. And now people are gravitating back toward the better sounding CDs. So they're probably going to just keep flip-flopping over the next generations. But hey, works for me. As long as they're all selling, I'm happy. 8-track tapes are the honorable mention here at $186. It's up 94% on the 8-tracks. So maybe the 8-tracks and the VHS tapes are kind of working in unison together instead of cassettes. So that could be right there. Let's get a total number now for the week. 5.37 plus 2938.94. And that gives us $6,454.31 for the week, which I like that number because that number seems like it's up. That seems like an up number. So we should be able to beat the 869 divided by 7. Boom, $922 per day. So we have beaten the 869. So I'm taking that postie down. And I'll have to do a new one for $922 per day last week. Feels good. Feels good growing and getting us just, eBay has not been perfect. There's been a lot of problems this past week. A whole lot of problems the week before. But tax time, sales are just starting to roll in. Plus, overall, for the month of March, we've gotten a little bit better and a little bit better when it comes to the problems on the website, it seems. So as long as we keep going in that direction, if we keep going that direction with the website, June and July will not be my lowest months. I could see that building and building and building. And the fact that if eBay's working a little better, it's just going to continue to drive the numbers up. Plus, with me just trying to knuckle down and get everything listed, I think it's going to help also. Because volume, I'm a volume seller, so I've got to do volume. I need to do volume. I've got the volume. Work it. Work it. Just like a stripper working a pole. Get the stuff listed. You got it. Do it. Let's see what has been selling over here this weekend. I've been doing a lot of in and sell similar too. I've been doing a minimum of about 1,000 items per day on the media store. And then on this store, I've been doing whatever's ending that day. I am just going ahead and ending it and selling similar. Did get another negative over here, but somebody who said, I still haven't got the item yet, but yet it scanned yesterday in their town. I'm just like, why do you... He had 2 feedback, and I'm like, come on. Why do these people do this? So as soon as... It'll probably be delivered today, so then I sent him a message, because he bought a Blues t-shirt. I'm like, from one Blues fan to another, I'm kind of saddened the fact that you did not reach out to me and ask how the tracking worked. And of course, they didn't respond back. So as soon as it's delivered, probably today, I'll just send that thing into eBay and have that taken off. But still, good Lord. People, 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 people. People are people, so why should it be? What are we doing today so far? So we're going on 10 a.m. You know, I want to be at 250 plus. We're at 165 there in the clothing store. And only $50 over here. So only $215 going on 10 o'clock. And the media store starting out like it did yesterday. Very slow, sluggish all day. I haven't listed anything yet to see if there's any problems. So, and I haven't ended in sell similar to see if there's any problems yet. So, I'll find out later if this site is acting like it did yesterday. There was at least a $7 shutdown last night. So, hopefully at least something got fixed. Let's go back over here. So this is one of the items that just sold. So that is helping out today. So a nice big dollar item there with some Power Ranger toys. So for $80, and that was sold for asking price. So no offer taken there. ASC warranty hat, Air Force hat, Luke Bryan camouflage, Gymboree toddler, Redhead toddler, Bass Pro toddler. So I'm guessing all these were together. Bon Air Dutch Caribbean t-shirt, Huskies football. We got the Thai Beanie Baby sold. 7 from Frozen. Fighting Illini hat, Fox Racing t-shirt. Another construction hat. Friday nights. Wonder why I didn't notice that when I put it up. It's got the Hawkeyes. I think that's the Hawkeyes logo. I didn't even notice that. Toddler Tupac t-shirt with a toddler Lego shirt. And yeah, if you don't think ending and selling similar helps, a lot of this stuff sold on this store in the last 2 days were ended sell similar. All these pants that had these lights around them, I ended them sold similar in the last 2 days, and they've been popping off. Why is camera? Doesn't want to play today. So, and the pants are not the only thing. I have some shoes that's been up forever and in sales. Damn camera, stop. Some shoes. What the hell is going on? Why are you doing this? It just wants to aggravate me today. Some shoes ended and sell similar. So a lot of stuff that ended and sold similar this weekend has sold. So, yeah. And you don't have to change anything. You don't. I know there's people out there on YouTube who will say, well, you got to change something. You got to change something. You got to change the price or the title. No, you don't have to. You don't have to change anything. It's just about ending it, selling similar, gives it a new number, refreshes it. I think Relist does the same thing too now, but I still stick with sell similar. And I don't change anything, nothing. I've had items sell as soon as I listed them this weekend for the price. They didn't even go on sale, so we'll should be able to see them here. They didn't even go on sale. They just sold. So where were those an hour before doing that? So how buried were they is what I'm saying. And then in sell similar, then boom, sold. So things like this. So we got this dress here that sold for $40. We got the Rosie O'Donnell dowel that sold. I didn't think this was going to sell, let alone for, I think it sold for asking price because there's a lot of them out there cheaper. And I just popped it up in price going, I know I'm probably going to sit on this for a while. It lasted a month maybe. So just goes to show you, like, however in the business, I don't care about sell-through rate. I don't. And I don't really care about how many people have listed. That is it's been in storage, so If I came across that today, I would still buy it for a buck or two or whatever, buck two, three maybe. I would still buy it just because it's a new toy, it's vintage. Even though there are some up there on the website that they're listed for $10, $9, and I got 16 out of mine. So those little things that happen like that are kind of the little special nuances that I remember and go, yeah. And then when that happens over and over and over again, for years, you remember that stuff. So just as sell through rate means nothing to me, things like that. So you just kind of don't pay attention to that kind of stuff anymore. If your gut tells you to grab it, you grab it. Unknown T logo hat. I had put up last week a bunch of Thomas the Tank Train that I bought at a yard sale for $10 for a hoe tote. I think I sold 4 of them this weekend. So $40 out from $10 just in stuff that's been sitting here since last summer. So that's one of them there. Got the Blues hat, blue shirt, Public Trust jersey. This Public Trust stuff is stuff that's been in storage. This is stuff that I used to have that I bought with the when I did the shoes at the clearance outlet. I'd buy clothes for like $1 a piece. So Public Trust was one of the urban brands that they carried. Senior Olympic shirt, Cardinal hat, Natural Light, Bass Pro, shoes, Imagine Dragons, hat, Star Wars toy, Turtles hat. Here's another pair of the End and Relist denim capri jeans that sold. And then there's going to be a couple more. And those were all End and Sell Similar, and they sold that same day of doing it. I haven't checked a lot of this other stuff to see when the date was. So. Another one of the tanks. And a tank and a tank. Tank top and a tank train. Tank engine. I believe this is one of the pairs of shoes that was an End and Sell Similar. It sounds like something was just thrown on our porch, so I'm guessing mail was delivered. Got this cool, dirty, distressed worker, reflecting workers hat. Sold for $13. Jurassic Park. Must have been UPS. I hear the truck firing back up right now. Anheuser-Busch. Racing Champions die cast. Here's another pair of the jeans that was End and Sell Similar. Along with these here. And they are 2 different orders. They just sold back to back. 2 different people. And then here's the 2 shoes that sold. Hours after I did it End and Sell Similar, somebody came in and bought both pairs. So I've never seen such a reaction for End and Sell Similar as I did with this store. And I guess it's been about 4 days now. So it wasn't just Saturday and Sunday. I was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. In that time period, I've never seen such a reaction to End and Sell Similar, and they sell. I mean, these 2 items didn't even go on sale. That's how quick they sold. So there is something to End and Sell Similar. So make sure you End and Sell Similar. I don't like stuff sitting in my store for, if it's 6 months, that's when I End and Sell Similar. Some people say you should do it within 3. You definitely don't do it. You shouldn't do it every 1 month. Don't do that, because it takes a good month. It takes a good couple of weeks for everything to settle, like sales and Google and stuff like that. Well, Google usually takes about a month for that. So things take time to build. So you definitely don't want to do it every 30 days. I would suggest 3 months or more before you worry about End and Sell Similar. Breaking Bad figure, I just put that up. It was a return that's been sitting in storage. It probably got returned who knows how long ago. And Alex ended up going through all the returns for me and opening them up, because since I'm in storage, I'm just coming across boxes and boxes of returns that were never opened back up. So he broke out everything for me. So listing some of that stuff again. Some wallets. This stuff is in and so similar because it's got the older dates on them. So all this stuff is. See why this stuff shows up when it ends so similar? It means I had more than one of them. If you have more than one and one thing sells, it may 99% of the time it will not show up over here until you end the whole listing or the whole listing sells. When the whole listing sells, then it shows up over here. Or you end the whole listing to relist it, then the one that sold will show up over here. So that's why when you end and sell similar, you get all these older listings popping up over here. All right, so now we're back into current. So we got some Spanx that sold. Cardinals, Houston Astros, Promise Keepers, another pair of shoes. Predators, Cardinals, old coloring book that Jan probably found at the bins. Another Thomas the Tank. Pair of shoes I pulled out of storage when I bought shoes at the clearance outlet. All right. Well, you guys saw this in one of the last videos, so we're good here. All right, let's check the other store. See if anything. Jumps out before we finish up with what my changes I've made to listing. All right. I'll probably have a lot of the normal suspects, but might have some oddball stuff that jumps in here too. And then we're going to have a mix of end and sold similar also. Oh man, I love what I do. I love just paging through solds, just like, I sold that, I sold that, I sold that. Can you believe I sold that? Cactus band, tape only for $16. Atrus controller. Another controller. Whoops. I cannot see the TV right at the screen right now because my receiver popped off, so I'm going to turn that back on. But I ended up finding another tote of vinyl in storage. So when I said I didn't have any, but yet I've pulled out 400 plus pieces. Oh, so funny. Don't even know what I got in there. Pulled out 2 G-Shock watches, new. Got those listed. So just the normal stuff over here. Sega Saturn controllers. I had about 4 or 5 of them. $40 a piece. They're selling for. They're selling straight away, and not even offers on them. They're just selling. So nice. So hopefully I got some more of those and some of those totes out there that I found. These things finally sold. Good Lord, I've had these things in there forever. Never even got an offer on them until 2 days ago. I got a low offer from them. I just declined it because it was so low. And then they came back with a higher one. I just went ahead and accepted it. So I think they sold for $21. But I took it just because they were the only person in the past 2 years that these things have been listed to even send an offer. So I think their first offer was like $9 or something. I'm like, no. And they came back with like 21. I'm like, okay, take them. Probably picked them up at a yard sale or either a yard sale or the bins. One or two. Cents. Rainbow Bright VHS tape. Even one of these, Mr. and Mrs. Eagle Bowling Tournament, Granite City, Illinois, 1983. I didn't think one of these were ever going to sell. I got like 5 or 6 of these because I always grab all keychains at the bins too. I ended up getting like 5 or 6 of these things. And I listed them like, these things are probably never going to sell because they're so like personal. It seems like Mr. and Mrs. Eagle Bowling Tournament from 1990. It's going to take probably a family member or somebody who was at that bowling tournament to buy it. And one sold finally. I'm like, wow. I love that stuff. I love it when things like that happen. That's why I list anything and everything. I don't care. Boom. Because you never know what's going to sell tomorrow. You never know what's going to sell next week. You never know what's going to sell next year. And it all just piles on top of each other and just grows and grows and grows and grows. At least that's the way it's supposed to work when eBay's working properly. Always got to throw that asterisk sign in there. All right. Even sold a lighter. Which reminded me, I actually sold a bunch of Zippos before in the past when Street Side Records were going out of business. They used to sell Zippo lighters and they had a display. And I got the display and all the lighters at the time. I don't even know how many, 40 different lighters. All like different, like a Harley one and just a bunch of different ones. And I sold all that stuff. That stuff sells immediately. So actually finally sold another ad print too. So that's good. And I actually found in storage some of my old ones I used to do years ago that came out of metal magazines. So those are going to go into my rotation to get listed too. So get all those back up. All right. So what did I change with my listing process? As you know, I'm always changing things up. But now that I've got a system that I like, my next step was to make sure I hold myself accountable every day. How am I going to make myself stay motivated every single day? And for me, what works for me is always putting in my face every day numbers. Numbers every day gives me something to shoot for, and I know I got to go. I work best when it's right there in my face like that, because those are the days where, you know what? Those are the days where I go, oh crap, I haven't even eaten today, which needs to happen too, on top of just getting work done. So here's my new layout with what I'm doing. So Sundays and Mondays. So I worked all the numbers. So if I sell about 2,500 items a month, let me see what that would average out to per day. That's 83. So that's high. Probably high for what I do now compared to what I used to do. It's about on spot. So I took 2,500 just because that used to be my old common number, which is probably lower now, but I'm still going with the higher number because that's where I want to be anyway. So I took 2,500, and then I want to grow my store by 1,000 items every month minimum. So that's 3,500 items. Divide that by 7. Okay, so that's 500 a day. I must be doing something wrong. Wait, hold on. Let me just break it out because that's not the number I came up with the other day or when I came up with this process. Let's go through the process. So, on Sundays and Mondays, my goal is to make 816 drafts. That means titles, item specifics, price. Everything but the pictures. So Sunday and Monday is to make 816 drafts those 2 days. Then the next two, Tuesday and Wednesday, is to take pictures for those 816 items and get them listed. So Tuesday and Wednesday will be that. And more times than not, it's probably going to be media items because I can do those a lot quicker. So what that will do is 816 will give me that average to keep up with what sells plus growing 1,000 per day. At least the numbers I came up with. I'm going to have to redo the numbers because why did it say 816 point times 30? I'm probably rethinking it wrong when I'm doing the math. It's early still, but that'll get me to where I want to be sale wise and growth wise. And then the Thursday through Saturday, I work on the clothing store and I list clothing, shoes, toys, whatever, and even over here with oddball stuff. So Thursday through Saturday will just be clothing and oddball stuff, toys and whatever. And then all that stuff is just going to be bonus on top of my $1,000 growth per month until sales start climbing again. Once sales start climbing again, that stuff will eventually even out. And hopefully one day the sales will be more than what I'm listing, but I don't think that's ever going to be in my line of business model, if you will. So getting to that even point, though, I'm curious to see what that even point is dollar-wise, right? When I am listing just as much as I'm selling, then there's no more growth. At least in the current state, there's no more growth. So what is that dollar amount? See, the beauty about it is now I'm already above where I need to be. So that growth is probably just going to be my happy point. I'm already at my happy point, but it's just going to be, I'll be okay with it, right? I won't need to hire a virtual assistant. I won't need to try to figure out how to do it a little bit quicker. I won't need to because I'm already well above where I need to be. So, yeah, so that's what I'm doing. So I've got a structure for each day now. Well, not for each day, but for a good 4 days, I've got a main structure on set numbers I need to make. And then the other 3 days are just like whatever. What do I feel like doing? Ooh, this receiver's sitting here. Let me get that listed. Let's do a bunch of hats right now. I got all this box of shoes. Let me just go ahead and get these listed. So those 3 days will be more of a free flow, how I'm feeling type of thing. So I'll still have that incorporated in it because with me, that matters. I have to have that. And the structure gives me the ability to do it whichever way I want to. I can make the drafts first. I can take the pictures first. I can do them both at the same time if I'm feeling it. So I still have all my different options that I mentally need because I don't like doing the same thing over and over and over again, day after day, week after week. It gets old. So I still have all the abilities to change it up. So pulling in a structure to that now should help me stay focused more and to really see all my numbers increase. And then I'm also, too, writing down every day how many items are in my store. And I'm doing it every day, so it's right in my face. So for April 7th, that is this morning, I have 77,781 items listed. And since I started doing this March 3rd, so just a tad bit over a month, I'm up 936 items. So even without this structure, I was already almost at that 1,000 items within 30 days growth. So it's not a hard thing to do. It's just being consistent with it. And now that I have a structure, I should be able to blow that out of the water each and every month, even if I stop working at 5 to go ride my bike in the summertime. So I still should be fine with time off to get some exercise in and get my body moving again. So yeah, just another little structure for that. So what do we got left in the year? So 12 minus 4 is 8. So 8,000 items growth before the end of the year, because my goal was 1,000 for the whole year. So since I'm already kind of started a little bit late, we'll still take 1,000 per month. We'll add 8 to that. So my 77,781 will hopefully be 85, let's just say rounded up, 86,000 plus items by the end of the year. So that will be the goal. The ultimate goal would be 100,000 by the end of the year. Hopefully the structure will give me that ability, because if I can pull that off, then that's beautiful. So 86 is the low goal, 100 is the big goal for the year. So we'll see how close I can get to that. Like I said, we're 70, going on 78,000 now. So it'll be 22,000 more items listed this year. So can he do it? I can do it, but I'm also, like I said, making sure I can take time off. So if I don't do it, as long as I make the logo and I've been able to exercise all summer, win-win. So that's the way I'm looking at it. So, all right, that's all for me. I gotta get to work because I still got 400, almost 400 listing or 400 drafts to make today. So before I can start taking pictures. So that's what I'm going to do. But like I said, the beauty about this is if I wanted to stop and take pictures today, I can. If I want to stop and take like 30, 40 pictures just to do it, just to change things up for a minute and then come back to this, it's there for me to do. So yeah, so that's the new. All right, that's it for me. That is all. That is all. That is all. Everything else is good. Courtney's good. Pee-wee's good. What are we on? 5 weeks without a seizure. The record was 9 weeks. So Pee-wee's still going strong. So that's good. Jan changed her job today, so hopefully she'll be a lot happier and more not so stressed out. So hopefully she'll be able to enjoy the summer more too, and just enjoy her life more, enjoy her days more. She'll have days off now too. She gets a 3-day weekend every other weekend, unless she picks up shifts, which she normally does. But at least she's got the ability to take time off now, where before they were always calling her in to cover something. So hopefully she'll be a lot happier, and the whole mood around the house will be a lot more cheerful than, you know. She's been doing, she handles it very well, even though you could tell, she's not happy with things. Every once in a while she might blow up a little bit about something, but when you're not happy, that kind of stuff happens. So, but for the most part, she's handled it very well. So I'm happy to see. I'll be grateful to see how better her mood will improve. So, just for her own sanity and health reasons too, So especially with her health problems, she's got all those underlying issues. Stress pops them off. She's had a lot of pop-off problems in the past year or so, and they're more than likely stress-induced. So hopefully that'll calm those down too. So I think we're headed into a good summer. So if nothing drastic happens, everything's looking golden for the rest of the year. I put up the vacation footage from November of 2023 that was in my phone. It's been in my phone forever, and I never deleted it because I haven't done nothing with it. I'm like, let's just throw it together and throw it up. So I put it up on TikTok and I threw it up on YouTube. So now I can erase them from my phone. So people, you guys, some of you are commenting that enjoy your vacation, but yeah, that was over a year ago. So we haven't had a vacation since then. So not sure if we'll get one this year either. So we'll see. With Pee-wee and all. So, all right. That is all. All right. Thanks, everybody. I will see you all in the next video. Later.